burning out. The stage is yours. Okay, hello everybody. I'm really glad to see all of you here because today is the best day to be here. And a lot of familiar faces. Thank you very much. Okay, I will go to the history. Dear colleagues, yes, the topic is a very interesting one, and I've been preparing myself. I did have time. In the autumn, I've been speaking at another event. I've been speaking about career paths, and students been asking me a question, how don't you burn out? And then I've heard a question, and then I thought, well, burnout, I don't know what it is, but I've answered. And then when people asked me, okay, you will talk about this topic, and when I said, well, when last time I've seen this, no, I decided to research this topic, and I thought, why don't I know the burning out? I do know about burning out very well. So we are going to speak about suffering. Suffering is a personal choice of everyone. It was said by Gooden, but there is a great Japanese writer, Haruki Murakami. He is also a marathon runner and ultra-marathon runner. And it's very cool. If some of you heard from this, then you immediately understand everything. The thing is that we choose suffering for ourselves. And I can tell you by secret, no matter whatever you choose, no matter what future of life you will choose, even if you're not going to work one day of your life, you will burn out. For example, you're burning in the sun. This is something else, but okay, it's the same. So the key here, to my opinion, and even though my opinion is similar to Haruki Murakami, is your love for your profession. If you search yourself, if you choose a profession, and if you find your path, then it's going to be cool for you. You will be burned and burned out, but with pleasure. How can you understand that you are in the wrong place? Well, I did have this life experience. I was 22, 23. It was a long time ago. And I was going to my work, and I had a feeling of nausea. It was an awful feeling, hate. And I was still going to this job. First of all, because I cannot, due to my life principles, I cannot work less than 6 months. And I did understand that this is not my path. If you feel something like that, it's not your path. If inside of you, your profession, your business does not burn fire, even if at the moment of tiredness, fatigue, you don't have something burning inside of you, then perhaps you can search a little bit more inside of yourself. And in this life, you will never be completely burning out if there will be something to burn. First of all, it's your love for your profession. Second, it's perception. There's an expression, career staircase. Long time ago in youth, I thought it's going to be my career path. Stairway is something when you climb upwards, you have to climb, but the path is something where you just walk. You walk and you catch something laying on the side of this road, something that you want to pick up. Relax. Wherever you come, doesn't matter, IT, information security, threat research, hackers who are competing with each other, be you designer, doctor, event organizer, you will burn out everywhere. Moreover, if you will sit at home and you won't work a single day of your life, you still will burn out, especially when you will have children. Parents will understand me. So, what's the meaning then? What else helps me? Learning. I'm learning all the time, forever. You can understand when you learn in the wrong place that you don't like. In my first university I went to become a history teacher, and for the third year, I understood that it's not for me. I completed. When I was 27, I came to information security. First of all, it's very cool, truthfully. And you know, it was 2012. And when I came to the post-graduation Of course, my friends, my former colleagues, or somebody else were asking me, what will you do here? Right now, you're here. Everything was told to you 2012, 12 years ago. But who is this? What are you going to do? I did have an understanding of what I'm going to do. Moreover, I had a clear plan of actions and desire to break this world. When I've entered into postgraduate, there were 12 people in this postgraduate study. It was the first group in Bonch-Bruyevich University, St. Petersburg. This year, if you will find out, it's more than 1,000 budget places for the first year, and you understand the difference. This is truthfully, during this period of time, it became not just hype. You all hear the deficit for this profession, and if right now you will ask yourself a question, cool, who should I be in 12 years, in 10 years? Possibly you will find your own path that will take you to the future success. And success is a criteria for each one of you. From the very beginning, I had an understanding that I would like to defend my PhD, and I did defend my PhD. I've achieved it. Then when I've completed, I said to myself, okay, PhD, not enough. In 6 months, I've rested. Okay, I will have a PhD. But my topic was that I need math. And I went to MFTI. I get even more hardcore because modern math, I entered when I was 39. Guys, it's hardcore. It's really awful. Well, of course, I'm able to do it, but everything that was before, it was easy. So right now, standing here on this stage, and yesterday when I've been preparing myself for this presentation, and when I've been making this presentation, the only thing that I've associated with my career here and now, it was Stephen King's thriller, Long Trip. Well, the main hero wins and catches emotional burnout. Those who've been reading this book, you understand what I'm speaking about. Sometimes it's heavy, sometimes you have a lot of work, but it's not always like that. Just a second. That's it. So, I've been Googling what is emotional burnout. I had to understand it. Good Wikipedia told me that this is some psychological condition. And a couple of days ago, I've heard one speaker was speaking, and he was speaking about professional burnout. I didn't hear this term, but once again, this is not my professional field. And emotional burnout can easily be mixed up with something else, just with laziness. It has its own conditions, but you will feel it. And let's look, if you see this slide right now, maybe you see it, but those of you who are internet, who see that you see it, please see the difference. Ask yourself a question of what is happening, where's a burnout and where's laziness. Right now, when people come to me to find a job and say, I prefer work-life balance. Those who are in IT for a long period of time, they say, if you will take this person, his work-life balance will be for him and you will have a lot of work. Unfortunately, both in IT, in information security, it's not like that. You will have projects, you will have deadlines, you will have from one objective, you will have a desire to boom, die. But then you will have to say, okay, how much time do I have left? And you will do everything. You have done everything. You've prepared yourself. Everything works perfectly. And you came to a certain day, moment, and hour, and everything just broke down. And something happened, something you have not been ready for, and this will happen constantly. And you will burn out sometimes. Not the volume of work brings the burnout, but destructive perception. You can have it at home and it has no relation to your work. It can be in university, it can be anywhere. Don't mix it up. And yes, you have to choose for yourself. when you containerize something, when you exclude something, this could be a problem which you have faced and which brings you to this condition, just it's not worth of you burning out. You is the most valuable thing that you have. You're not going to have a friend who will going to say, perhaps you're burning out right now, if he's not a psychiatrist who's been diagnosing you for 1 hour before that. You will never have a boss who's going to tell you, maybe you have burned out, maybe you want to rest. I don't know, maybe there are places, but I've never seen those places before. And coming back to how can we see the difference between them? There are important moments during which you all ask yourself and you understand that you burned out, but you still have to move on. And this is not a final. You have to move on and on and on and on, and you have to go and go, and there will be a final, but nobody knows when. Or maybe it's known, but it's too far away. On these slides, I've tried to bring useful information, and maybe it's going to be useful to you a little bit later. And there's a standard set of rules, how you can cope with this and with that, how you can cope with laziness and with burning out. You just keep it for yourself in your head or in your notes on which you rely, and it helps. It's checked. Otherwise, I would be dead with my career path. So, when you burn out, it's painful. When it's painful, it means that you grow. Right now, when you burn out somewhere, in university, at work, etc., you grow. There's a lot of conversations that SOC operators, they burn out. Very good specialist when he worked at least a year or two in SOC. Yes, of course, he did burn out, and he survived. And number 3, he acquired experience. And when I do interviews with people, I ask him, did he see problems and did he learn to overcome this pain, to cope with it? Massage, running, meditation. You can switch your attention to something, and there's a life hack. When you have a lot of work, you can separate one type of jobs and say, this is very beautiful, I will take pleasure from it as a beauty. Or I've seen other ones. I perceive this objective as monarch of Shaolin, when you have to repeat this routine over and over again. Well, you lie to your brain as possible as it is, otherwise it will capture you. It's very important to remember that you can leave your race at any moment of time. But there is evolution and career and your job and your future life in this evolution. And do you know what else there is in addition to evolution? When people leave, other people stay, they don't give up, they don't break, and they win, and they move on. My advice to you, keep this mantra in your head, don't give up. Be strong. Pull yourself with your teeth. Lift yourself up when you fall. When you get to the bed and you can't wake up, make yourself do it. Of course, keep safe. But remember that in your life, you will be able to achieve final line only if you're not going to let yourself drop. There's a lot of things which are going to help you. And I've been showing some of them to you. For example, this is my schedule. You see, in April and in May and in February, I don't know when, it's crazy. I have a lot of parallel objectives, work, study. I have students. I'm a teacher in the university. I have postgraduates. I'm also pre-graduate, postgraduate students. I have a family as well. And they don't think this way. But, well, here's my working calendar. Meetings from 9:30 to 6 p.m. These are meetings where you have to be physically present, and after 6 p.m., you just have to work. Well, just to complete your work. At the meetings, you have to meet, and I thought that maybe I have to put a picture with my head. Okay, do something for artificial intelligence so that I can send avatar to those meetings. And that's it. When should I leave? Maybe in the evening I can work, but in the evening you cannot, because I'm studying in MFTE and I have webinars. Of course, I'm missing many of them, but God forbid that in university they have this function when you can look webinar in recording and then you can speed up the teacher's presentation. It helps you. Sometimes you want to speed up people during the meetings. It would help. But as I've told you, there is a own way of not breaking. And by the way, I've loved this picture because that's how I look like, I think. Of course, I've been applying makeup and you don't see it, but there are some tracks which are available on which you can rely. I'm relying upon my experience, the history from literature and something else, maybe some advices. However, we have a life hack. You know, in IT, there's a concept that's called mentors. Each one of you have already been or used or will use, I'll tell you secretly, a mentor. Previously, these people have been called advisors, but the new word, both in IT and informational security, mentors do exist. Use them wherever you want. Find a mentor. Go on top of them and tell them, okay, help me to pass this period. Can I write to you? Can I complain to you? Well, if you will say something like that, he will deny you. But can you be my mentor? Honestly, it helps. I always had mentors, and when I came to postgraduate studies, when I came to university, I had a scientific teacher, and right now I have mentors, and these people may not even know that I'm using them as mentors. Honestly, it really helps. And of course, right now I'm the mentor for some students. I've never seen some of them in their face, but in Telegram, we're writing to each other, we're calling to each other, and they say, okay, what have you done this week? What will you do next week? How you overcame this and that, etc., etc. So it's kind of a mutual. You don't need any thankfulness. Just in the future, believe you will also be a mentor to somebody. You will pull your hand to somebody else. This chain will never stop. And specifically for you, in the end, I have several examples. These people agreed to give their QR code to have a link to their Telegram. So just in case, you can go to them. The first one is Andrei. He was my mentor when I was writing my dissertation. Great person. Ivan was telling him about my cat. He is patient to anything, and he's a wonderful scientist. Vadim is here. Thank you very much for being here. He was the first person who came to me into my analytical center this year and took a big responsibility to be the head of lab. And he loves trips, so maybe he will send you to mountains. Also a good mentor. There is Ksenia and Ekaterina. Ksenia, she's also somewhere here. Thanks to her for the support. All these days she's with me. Ekaterina left here yesterday because she went to Nizhny Novgorod to conduct workshop for students, and last night they were in the train, and right now she's working there. There's also Nikita and Alexander. They also left here because they speak in front of students in St. Petersburg. And Nikita and Alexander, they're 21. They're students of the third year of education. They're wonderful mentors. They taught me a lot. Maybe you know there's a topic as re-mentoring or something like that. Smart words. You can Google them. So when you can go to somebody who's younger than you, and they taught me a lot of things, at least to say no. And these are our contacts. You can write us. And you can write me as well. And I will tell you once again, because I'm glad to see you. And thank you very much that today you are here. This is the best time to be here. Thank you.